closures up right away, call them in as they're going up, and make sure dispatch hears it. It looks like snow's gonna.
My name is Lucien. I'm a pod leader for patrol.
My name is Sam, and this is my second year in ski patrol at Big White.
Going to the top of Falcon, don't open like the upper Grizzly entrance.
My name is Jenna, and I'm the nurse for Big White.
And my name is Sage, and I work with the snow safety crew for ski patrol.
First thing we do at the patrol hut, we have a bit of a briefing in the morning. We figure out who's going where, gear that we need to replenish, especially for first aid. There's a lot of rope lines, hazard marking we pull down at night. That's just to let the groomers in, especially to fill in, things like creeks, holes, stuff like that kind of pops up. But we want to make sure to get those lines back up before anyone else ends up on the hill and they could, end up in those creeks. So right now we're heading up the rocket. We're gonna make our way over to the powder chair. And we need to put up all of our closures for Gem Lake first thing. Gem's not spinning yet, so we don't want anyone to end up over there by mistake. So we're gonna head that way, put up some closures, load the powder chair, and then just kind of clean up rope lines, clean up our tower pads, make sure everything looks nice, sharp, clean, and super visible for people when they load up on the hill.
Tom for dispatch with top of power inventory. One trauma, 1800 psi, one spinal pack, one cascade, one PD Sun Valley, one Sega, one clamshell, and one toboggan.
Weather changes pretty fast here in the alpine. Everything that we do or plan is based around weather changes. And my role being part of the snow safety team is to just ensure that the terrain is safe for the public. We'll have our forecaster meeting in the morning, and then we'll go out and assess the terrain. If we don't like what we're seeing, we'll keep all the gates closed and try and reduce hazard. There's a couple ways we can mitigate that. One being ski cutting, just where we kind of go across the slope in a straight line, see if anything releases. And then another way we can do is buy explosives, as you'll sometimes hear or see in the bowl. So if we do decide to go blasting, we'll discuss it in the morning on what our plan is and how many bombs we're throwing. We'll actually build our bombs inside the alpine shack. So everything we do is under the guidance of a senior forecaster, and so every time we go out blasting, they'll tell us kind of what route they want us and where they want us.
And then 4 singles for the top.
It's, I guess, actually pretty simple. The procedure is you just pick a spot on where you want to go, prepare your bomb, you toss it off the edge, and then you just wait 2 minutes for it to detonate. After the blasting mission is done, we'll kind of regroup, talk about kind of what we saw and what our results were, and then what we think the next step is. Usually that's just opening the bowl back up to the public for them to ski. We'll have at least one kind of Abbey team member sitting at the top of Alpine, monitoring the bowl if conditions change at all. The rest of us will just kind of join back in with the patrol team and help out with the daily dealings of patrol.
After we finish our cards, there's 2 patrollers that head to the top of the mountain, to the alpine shack, and they take coverage from there to be in a spot to respond to anywhere on the mountain. And the rest of the patrollers are re-skiing our runs, checking for hazards, tighten everything, make sure the mountain looks presentable, and just make sure there's no new hazards on the mountain in general. We put extra focus on our green rounds, slow zones. This is where we can make sure people are riding safely in slow zones, and so our beginner and intermediate guests can have a safe place to learn to ski and snowboard. Unfortunately, even with all the safety measures we put in place, we do still sometimes have accidents. A lot of the time, a patroller can show up and give the patient the treatment they need.
To dispatch, Tom's on scene.
In more serious cases, we can call for extra gear like a rescue toboggan, and depending on their pain level, sometimes we provide pain management.
Entonox administered at 1900 psi under Tower 3 bullet. Patient is packaged and we're about to transport to the hub.
If the patient is coming to the hut to get the extra care, dispatch will let our in-house nurse know so she can come and get prepared for the patient.
Dispatch to Jenna. We have a patient at the hut. Are you available to come take a look?
Yeah, 10-4 on my way. The environment of the infirmary is always changing. It can go from calm to totally chaotic really quickly.
Do we know if Dad's his police officer? I think that's him outside.
Okay, we're gonna slide you over on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3.
We see different injuries on the mountain. Joint injuries like knees, shoulders, and wrists, alongside concussions and lacerations, are some that we see pretty much on a daily basis. We also deal with some more serious cases like spinal injuries. Patient transportation is usually figured out after further assessment from patrollers or myself at the patrol hut. We then decide if a higher level of care or paramedic transport is needed. We often work with BC Ambulance Service, so paramedics from Kelowna and the Big White Fire Department, to help provide emergency care and transport down to Kelowna General Hospital. On the weekends, we're super lucky to be able to work with Kelowna ER doctors who volunteer their time to us throughout the season. During peak times, we actually have ambulances stationed on the mountain to help reduce response times and provide faster transport to definitive care.
Oh, nice.
How you doing, buddy?
So this is our winter infirmary. We have our gear boxes here for a lot of our first aid gear that patrollers take out in the morning. This is our main kind of zone of the infirmary here. We have 5 beds, so we kind of put our stable walkie-talkie patients over here, just kind of quick in and out. We kind of put our more injured patients over here. We have some splinting supplies here. We do a ton of splinting here, a lot of broken bones. And then this is kind of like IV nurse doctor equipment and gear over there. So this is our locker room. It's where we keep all of our skis and snowboards and get ready in the morning. Usually we'll have like a morning chat and kind of make a plan for the day, as well as at the end of the day, kind of talk about how it went. Yeah, and that's the patrol hut.
Dispatch patrol, the time is now 2:30, time to get high for sweep.
At 2:30, we all head to the top of the mountain and then assign every run on the hill to be swept by a patroller. We put our closures up and take down any signs or hazard markings to get them out of the way for the snowcats. We then head down our assigned runs and look for anyone who's lost or injured on the hill.
Patrol gives you a very cool and unique way to see the mountain, and the variable nature of the job means that every day brings something new. Definitely the best way to spend a winter.
Originally, I thought I'd only be patrolling for a winter or two, but now this is my 5th winter working as patrol. I get to live, work, and ski with some of my closest friends every day, and I really don't know where else I can find that.
I feel super grateful every day to be able to blend the two most important things in my life into a full-time job. I often just think about how lucky I am to have found my dream job and my dream lifestyle so early on in my life.
I'm super lucky to be able to ski around the mountain for my job and just enjoy the lifestyle that comes with it.